Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to KT Garage. You ever think about restoring a Fox Body Mustang? Here are some of the things that you should know before you start buying a vehicle and restoring it. Because there's several things that are very common, several problems that are very common to the Fox Body, and they all have the same problem. And they're quite a bit to deal with. So this video, I'm going to go over all of those problems. Just so you're aware before you start buying the car and restoring it. I'll keep you guys posted on the progress of this car. I'll make several parts of the video, and we will show you the completion of the project so you can see the difference between now and a complete project. So I'm going to walk over the car, and I'll show you guys each area and where the problems are at. So this is a 1990 Fox Body. And it has a hatchback. We can take a look out back a little bit later. Now I'm about a couple months into the restoration. I haven't taken any videos until now, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. So the first thing I did was take the hood up, because the hood on this car has a lot of damage on it, and there's a lot of dings and things that I didn't want to deal with. I bought a brand new hood. It's $450 or something like that, plus shipping. So it's not too bad. So I went ahead and I bought a new hood. It's going to come in a little bit later. Fenders. There's a lot of problem with these fenders. You're dealing with a car that is in the 90s. So more likely people is going to have a lot of dents and things on it. There's Bondo in there that you really don't know about. So I went ahead and bought new fenders. The prices are very reasonable. Just a couple $100. For each one of these fenders. I went ahead and replaced that. And to replace it is super simple. There's screws here, here, and then there's screws that are inside here. You get this open. There's a screw inside. You probably can't see it, but it's in there. And so you back that out, and there's a screw under there. So you take that out, pop the whole fender out. No big deal. Get the new one in. So more likely you're gonna have to do the same thing. Now the bumper, of course, is gonna crack a little bit, paint damage, things like that. I left the bumper on because it's easier to work on it while it's in the car. So I went ahead and sand it down with an Ultra sander. Pretty smooth now. So I'm just gonna throw a bunch of primer, high built primer on it, and to make it look good. As far as the engine goes, hopefully you guys get a car that has a running engine. You don't have to do much. So this one runs just fine. So I'm just going to do minor cleanup later. But for now, I just want to focus on the exterior. So I'm going to leave all this alone for now, except for just cleaning a little bit here and there. So when I bought the fender, it came in with a little dent here. So instead of returning it and make a big deal out of it, I just put some Bondo on it, and we'll block sand it down and call it good. So we'll have to deal with all that nightmare. These gets damaged quite a bit, so I bought a new one. It's not too expensive. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape it off when I paint it, and then bolt it down. And wheels and tires, I have a video on this one that I restored. It's only taken me, I think, like half a day or something like that to get the whole project done. So it's not too bad. And you can see that's already been restored. All I did was just clean up the wheels, put new calipers on, new rotors on, and painted the caliper. The moldings on here is a nightmare to deal with. They're rubber, and they lift like this. There's a ton of adhesive. So what I did was I used a heat gun and heat it up real good, peel it off, and then heat it again, and then I stripped all of this adhesive off. So that's actually base metal, and I'm just going to run over with over the sander. Also common problems like dings and things. So you can see that I have like these already covered with Bondo, and I'll go ahead and block sand that down. Somebody already painted this once, It was a different color, but the paint looked pretty good. So I might just sand it down to wherever it looks good, maybe just down to the primer coat, and then leave it. Still got to take these off in order to paint. So the biggest problem area for these Mustang is this weather strip right here, and they over time it just like it dries out and it gets hardened, and then it becomes something like that. So you're gonna find out in every single older Mustang that hasn't been replaced. And these, it used to be rubber, and now you can see it's just hard like plastic and very brittle. So you see it's a big mess, and those things goes in here, these channels right here. They do make reproduction weather strip, not very expensive, so I'm replacing all of that. Now the weather strip here, they do get bad, so I pull them out, and there's reproduction. I'm gonna deal with that later. Now as far as dash goes, it's very common that you can see like cracks like these, so I'm still gonna have to repair them. Stereo wise, it's gonna get an old stereo. Now you can see that I already put in a 7-inch CarPlay in it. There's a video on that you can check out. And let's see what else interior. It's gonna get pretty bad, but this one's not too bad. I already steam cleaned it. Somebody already put a racing chair on it. I prefer the OEM, but they already got the chair on there, so that's fine. Deal with that for now. You'll see like dings and things here and there, but it's not too bad. Now every Mustang's gonna have this problem right here. This weather strip get dry and they look like this. I mean, it looks really bad. And now thankfully there's a piece of plastic that will cover this, and you just use adhesive to put it on. I have on the other side of the garage. I'll show you guys on the next video when I'm ready to put that on. So it's just gonna cover that instead of replacing the whole window, because this will cost you about $450 a piece, I think. So it'll be like around $1,000 to get them swap out. Rear wheel, you see this one hasn't been cleaned up and doesn't look so good, but I'm gonna do that later. Not a big deal. And back here, I have a video on how to remove all these trims, and the trims are pretty old, and there's like a lot of leaves and things under here. You can see that I already cleaned them all out. So to paint, you gotta have those trims out. The spoiler, took those out, so I'm gonna paint that separately. And of course, you gotta get your tail lights out. They all in good shape on this particular vehicle. Rear bumper looks really good. So paint wise, this it's not too bad. I kind of just sand it down a little bit here and there. Probably rough enough to throw in a primer coat and go from there. So one of the things that I found, I'm gonna completely paint the inside of the car and then the outside of the car as well, guys. So like the door jam, stuff like that, we'll get new paint. So anyway, that's the plan. And so all the mirrors and windows can be covered. So I'm gonna paint the interior first, inside the jam first, close it, then paint the outside. Now you can see that in order to open and close the door, I'm gonna have to raise a window. All you need to do is just take this is already out, but there's a piece here where the door come in and latch it. You just need to take that piece out, so now your door can swing open and close as you wish. When you're done, put that piece back on. I just use this little bungee cord to kind of tie them in if I don't want the door to swing out, because right now it's kind of free to rotate. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, so those are some of the problem area that you need to be thinking about when you get these Mustangs. And electrical issues, I have a video on. All of a sudden the power window just quit working. I got it to work again. It turns out it was the ignition switch that was the problem, but there's a video on that. You can check that one out. And Yeah, same thing here. I took the panel out, but I left this piece on because the control for the windows, we needed to roll it up and down, so I leave that on there for now. Same thing on this side. I'm gonna have to paint all the door jambs and things like that. You can see there's more damage here. And as far as the hatchback, I mean, it looks pretty decent in here. So I'm just gonna have to either put a coat of paint on it or just clean it up. I mean, it looks nice enough in here. Taking the tail lights out is super simple. It's got like a bunch of bolts that are the nuts on the inside. You just push the whole assembly in, and you put the nuts on, and it retains it. So there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts that come in with 6 nuts to be removed, and they'll come right out. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna keep you posted on project. So tomorrow I'm gonna take this outside and start to clean all this out, sand it down, all good, and then I'm gonna start painting all the door jambs, and then we're gonna start doing some body work, black sand, all this stuff, and then we're gonna throw a good coat of paint on it. And then after that, we'll clean up the interior again. The interior was pretty much done. I spent about a month working on it. You can see these are actually new steering wheel that I put on. There's a lot of videos online that show you how to do this. I didn't bother filming it, but yeah, it's pretty much reproduction is available for most of these parts. So steering wheels just looks terrible on these cars when it's that old. So just swap them out. Don't put the cover on. It's not worth it. Well, guys, I'm gonna keep you posted on the next step of the project. I'm more likely just gonna focus on the paint, get the paint job done on the exterior, and then we'll get to the interior, and then clean up the engine bay a little bit, and then I think at that point the project is complete. So please stay tuned for the next update. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to KT Garage. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.